Let's begin. Today is August 25th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's puzzle uses the following 6 criteria cards. Criteria card 6, 11, 18, 19, 20, and 22. And the puzzle uses the blue verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So in the grid above, we've got our 6 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. On the bottom row, we've got criteria card D, criteria card E, and finally criteria card F. So criteria card A looks at our middle digit, the square digit, and will let us know whether its value is an even digit or an odd digit. Criteria card B will look at our first 2 digits, triangle and square, and compare them. So should the value of triangle be less than square? Should they be equal? Or should the value of triangle be greater than square? Criteria card C will look at each of the 3 digits, triangle, square, and circle, but this time it'll add them together and will let us know whether the overall sum is an even quantity or an odd quantity. Criteria card D will again look at the first 2 digits, triangle and square, and this time we'll add them together and compare that sum to the number 6. So should the sum be less than 6? Should it be equal to 6? Or should the sum be greater than 6? Next, criteria card E will look at the 3-digit solution and will let us know a little bit about its structure. And there are several cases. One of them is that there are no repetitions among the 3 digits, as in the example 125, or it could be that it has a double number where there's a digit repeated, as in the example 112, or it could be triple number where it's a single digit repeated 3 times, as in the example 222. And finally, criteria card F again looks at our 3-digit solution, and this time it'll let us know something about the ordering of the digits from triangle to square to circle. And one of the cases is that they are in an ascending order, meaning that they're increasing, as in the example 135, or it could be that they could be in a descending order, where they're decreasing, as in the example 421, or alternatively, it could be that it has no order. And if we look at the example 231, notice that it increases from 2 to 3, but then decreases from 3 to 1. That's one way that you can define the 3-digit code to have no order, is where it shifts from an increasing to decreasing, or in another case, decreasing to increasing. And we've seen other puzzles where actually if you have consecutive digits that are equal to each other, for example, say 221, the fact that 2 consecutive digits, if they're equal, there's no change, so neither increases or decreases. That is another way you can define a 3-digit code to have no order. And remember, the objective of today's puzzle is to find that unique 3-digit code that abides by all of the 6 criteria cards. And we're going to start off with an initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I want to test is I want to know a little bit about that middle digit. So let's go ahead and test criteria card A. Okay, so notice that in my proposal I chose an odd 1, but the Turing machine does not agree with that, so it's letting me know that square should be an even digit. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes for section A. And square is an even digit. And since it is even, let's go ahead and cross out all the odds for square. Okay, next, I think I'm going to test criteria card C. Okay, so in criteria card C, we're adding all the digits. So let's go ahead and add up the digits in my proposal. So 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 is an even quantity, and the Turing machine agrees with that. So that means that, yes, the sum of the 3 digits is even. So So let's go ahead and type that up in section C, and that again is that triangle plus square plus circle should be even. And so let's evaluate what we did in criteria card A and C. We know that the overall sum is even. Now notice that we do have already an even digit in square. So there are two possibilities. The unknowns of triangle and circle, they're either going to be two odds or two evens. In either case, when you add up similar type, meaning two evens or two odds, that sum is even, right? 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6, they're both even. And then if we add up that middle digit even, the sum total remains even. So we're either looking at a code that is odd, even, odd, or potentially they're all even. And so let's see, what else can we could test criteria card E and see what that tells us. Yeah, let's go ahead and test E. Okay, so again, it does agree with my proposal. Notice that 314, there are no repetitions. And that's what the Turing machine is letting me know, that the solution has no repetitions. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes for section E, that the solution has no repetitions. And that's quite informative because if I were to have three evens, at least one of them would be paired up. Since we only have two choices, 2 and 4, they would be, excuse me, they would be paired up. So what that tells us is that, yes, triangle and circle actually must be odd. And so let's put in a note in here that triangle and circle are odd. Okay, well, that does it for this round. We've already completed our 3 Turing tests. We're now going into the phase where we'll be discussing how to construct a good second round proposal. So notice we did not test criteria card B, where we're comparing triangle and square, or criteria card D, where we're adding the first 2 digits and comparing that a sum to 6, and of course the ordering of the solution. And so one interesting thing about criteria card D is that if we add up triangle and square, now that we know that we have an odd and an even, there's no way that the sum could be equal to 6. An odd and an even is always going to give us an odd value. So at least we can eliminate this middle choice for criteria card D. Let's see, what else? And then, so obviously we'd be able to come up with a sum and then the ordering, but then somehow, other than criteria card C, there really is no mention of circle. So circle is going to be forced into something, and potentially the criteria card E will inform us of what circle should be. So one thing to note, I think, from other puzzles is if we consider the following. If we knew that the ordering was in ascending order, meaning that it's increasing from triangle to square, that would tell us that, yes, triangle would be less than square, making this card irrelevant. And similarly, if it was descending, meaning that it starts off large for triangle and then gets smaller, then we would know that triangle would be greater than square. So I think we can safely deduce that the solution should have no order because of the way criteria card B and F sort of interact with each other. So I'm going to type in our notes here in F that we're deducing that the solution has no order. And again, I'm pretty confident that this fact is what's going to help us figure out what odd value circle should be. That stated, I probably should have crossed out all the evens for both triangle and circle before the end of the last round, but it's never too late. Okay, so again, yeah, we're dealing with odd, even, odd. And so what can we do? What sort of cases are there to help us figure out what triangle and square might be? And remember that because there are no repetitions, obviously whatever triangle is, circle can't be, as well as we have to adhere to the no order in the code. So I think it might be safe to say that triangle can't be 1 because both 2 and 4 are greater than 1, and I don't think triangle can be 5 because, again, triangle in this case would be greater than both 2 and 4. So I'm pretty sure that it's going to be triangle is going to be a 3. Now the question is, what's it going to be? Is it going to be 3, 2? It could be 3, 2, 5 or 3, 4, 1. That looks like the possibilities. So let's see. I think I'm going to go with 3, 2, 5. Let's see where that takes us. 3, 2, 5. And so yeah, so the sum is less than 6. And then we can compare them. Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do criteria card B first. Okay, so yes, it's true. So let's take a look again. We do have triangle is greater than square. Since 3 is greater than 2, we know overall triangle should be greater than square. And that again is in criteria card B. So let's type it up. That triangle should be greater than square. And let's see what we can cross out. So if triangle is to be greater than square, then triangle cannot be a 1. Because if triangle were 1, what would square be? There's nothing smaller than it. So I think it's safe to say we can cross out the 1. And of course, yes, 5 is greater than everything. What about on the square side? Can we eliminate anything? No, I think, yeah, 3 is greater than 2, and 5 is greater than both 2 and 4. So I think that's the only thing we could cross out. Yeah, okay. So now let's go ahead and test criteria card D. Okay, so yeah, it's true that triangle plus square should be less than 6, since in my proposal I did choose 3 and 2, and its sum is less than 6. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section D. And again, that is that triangle plus square should be less than 6. And so we notice, if we take a look at triangle can't be 5 because 5 plus the two options for square, 2 and 4, are already going to be greater than 6. So yeah, triangle can't be 5. And if you look at square being 4, 4 plus 3 is also greater than 6. So we know it can't be 4. And so yes, 3 plus 2 is less than 6. And of course, based on our criteria in B, yeah, triangle is greater than 2. Okay, so, and then also remember that we did deduce that there should be no order. So that means it must go from 3 to 2, and then it must pivot back to an increasing value. And it can't be a duplicate, so it can't be 3. And of course, it can't be 1. So yeah, it looks like the solution should be 3, 2, 5. So let me just cross out the final 3 and let me type it up. And let's go verify. So 3, 2, 5. Fantastic. Well, let's see how we did versus the Turing machine. So the good thing about today's puzzle is we did have 6 criteria cards, but we just tested 5. We were able to successfully deduce that there should be no order. And so notice that in the first round we did ACE with A being incorrect, and then we did BD in the second round. And of course we skipped F. So let's go ahead and type that up. And so again, we did ACE, A being incorrect, C and E being correct. And in the second round, we tested B and D both being correct. Well, fantastic. So we beat the Turing machine by 1 question. So yeah, I think, the first round went very well, establishing sort of what the general form of the solution was going to be, odd, even, odd, with distinct odd digits. And then obviously the deduction of that there should be no order in the solution also was very important. So overall, I think it was a great puzzle. What do you think? Add your thoughts to the comments. If you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up so that more people can find this channel, and of course subscribe to not miss out on any future videos. Well, until next time, have a great one.